you know, the first years I was always doing shows like 5-minute demonstrations and stuff like that, you know, and like some kind of events, sports events, circus, wherever, you know. And these people always just wanted to see me spin on my head and do some flair, windmills, whatever, you know, like the regular, the power moves. And they never really thought that what I was doing was an art form and that it was a dance. And after a while, you know, when you're dancing for so long, you ask yourself, like, well, why am I dancing for so long and only get the recognition for spinning on my head? So I just said, like, well, let me choreograph something, let me build on something that where people actually look at the art form. And that right now it only takes place when you go into a theater. So people are looking at it different. They look at it like, well, okay, it's a dance. It's, you know, it has a vocabulary. It has like its own language. You know, we are working with, you know, it's the same sweat, it's the same discipline, it's the same energy we put in our dance as in any other dance form. You know, it's not just spinning on your head, it's about everything. You know, so that's why I did that move, that I went into theaters.
Движение вот брейкданса в сторону театра, это может новый виток какой-то продвижение, или, ну, как бы, что вот это может, или какое-то ответвление, что вот это?
Well, I think that you know, our dance form is going many different ways. It's not just going two ways. You know, you have so many different possibilities of what you can do with the dance. But people should always look back to the source. They always got to find out the difference between dance and acrobatics. You know what I mean? That's very, very important. You know, like, I can only tell you a story. When Swift and me, when we started our career, we started in a theater in Hamburg called Hansa Theater. And it was mainly for circus people who were doing like little shows. And at that point, Swift and me, we were really, really into power moves. You know, like, you know, everything that you could think of. So we were basically thinking that we were dancing, that we were very good in acrobatics. But then there was this woman, she was coming in, hopping on one hand, you know, just like that, hopping on one hand and tapping a ball with the other. And we were just looking at her like, whoa, a woman from Belgium, you know what I mean? And so we were like, wow, okay, well, we can forget that now, you know? And so what happened was there were more acrobats in that theater at that time. We were dancing there for like 2 months. And, you know, we found out, we were like, wow, they can do almost everything that we do except for the classic breaking moves and the moves that we invented. So, but after a couple of shows, they came to us and they were looking at us. They were like, wow, how you do that, you know, to the rhythm. The way you move, you know, all that stuff, all that finesse, the style. And so we were like, well, yeah, that's the difference between us and them. We are dancers. And that's what we always gotta remember. If it goes that far, if the mutation of the dance goes so far that you don't dance anymore, that you don't recognize the rhythm as part of the dance anymore, you're not dancing anymore. And that's very important. It's a dance. It's called b-boying. It's called break dance. It's not called break acrobatics or something. It's called break dance. And that's very, very important to realize that. And it's not just, see, b-boying is not just, let's say, like 2 art forms or 2 dances. It's not just power moves and footwork. There's a lot more to it, you know. You have top rock, you have up rock, you have footwork, you have leg work, you have all the freezes, you have the power moves, you have the, you know, like all the different spins. And it takes a lot more than just to go like one direction with it. If you go in one direction, I don't care, go that direction. Go like, you know, like even if you do like 10 hours in the air without landing, I don't care how you call it. But definitely worldwide, people would not consider it b-boying anymore. You know what I mean? You always got to come back to the original formula, what made it the dance. That's really important. If it's not based on the original formula, you can call it whatever you want. But worldwide, people will not recognize it anymore as b-boying or breakdancing.
That was serious.
Как-то затихло на Battle of the Year практически, даже уже видео-шоу и электронных-шоу вообще в принципе нету. Вопрос, почему? Или только в кругах видно, на Battle of the Year только видно на кругах, как происходящее действие.
Serious questions, man. Okay. Well, first of all, you see, b-boying and breakdancing is what made the event big. From day one, it was mainly about b-boying, breakdancing, right? Now there's more and more other dance forms coming to it. it's not just popping or locking anymore, you know, that were part of hip-hop, but you have a lot of other hip-hop dances, you know, that are part of it. So you have them ladies over here, you know, they doing their performance, but imagine this will be part of it. You know, or you have, you know, like, if you know the evolution of breaking, you know that at some point the Puerto Ricans in New York, they took over, and they started to put like a lot of salsa movements into b-boying. You know, but now imagine you're going to go back to it, and people are saying like, well, I'm going to do a salsa show. Other people are going to say like, well, you know, the new style is to incorporate house dance into b-boying. So you're going to say like, well, what's up with house? We're going to have a house dance show too? So that's why we're saying now that the dance is becoming so complex that basically everything is based on b-boying breakdancing. That's the basic. Now, if you want to incorporate other dance forms like electric boogaloo, poppin', lockin', salsa, samba, house dance, tango, I don't know what, you know, or like flipping kung fu or whatever, you know, as long as it sticks to the formula of b-boying and as long as it's executed in the right way and in a modest way, you know, in the formula of b-boying, everything is alright.
But like Storm said, we decided that Battle of the Year really is based, always has been, I mean, it's taken place for 13 years now, and the main point always was b-boying or breakdancing. And we said you always can integrate other dance forms as long as it fits in the whole choreography, in the whole show, and then the judges will give them points on it. But in the past, too many people thought, okay, it's Battle of the Year, we have to show everything. No, a lot of people ask me or us, why don't you do integrate an extra electric boogie competition into Battle of the Year? And I always, or a B-girl competition. And I always tell them, we have so much work, and Battle of the Year always was a b-boying and breakdancing competition, and I said to them, somebody else should do it. Because somebody could do an electric boogie event or contest series, it should be no problem. And but at the same time, a couple of years ago, we added the subline, a change of direction to the Battle of the Year logo, which came up because we all sat together and said, okay, what we don't like at the moment is a lot of people are focusing too much on the competition and not on the general basic original aspects of hip-hop culture, which was being all together, international, when you exchange your opinions. And at the moment, in the last years, too many people were just sitting, eating popcorn, watching the dances and go home. It was more, and our idea was a little bit to get away from the focus on the competition, bringing back the original elements of hip-hop culture, participating of the crowd in the circles,